Welcome to another episode of Systematic Geekology. This is a space where we seek to create and cultivate healthy conversations between those things we geek out on and the philosophical and theological questions that often arise out of our fandoms. Like, what does it mean to be human? What makes a hero? What makes a villain? How do the stories and narratives we geek out on shape how we live in the world? We are your priest to the geeks. We aren't all ordained, but we see ourselves as mediators at the intersection of geek culture and going deeper in our faith. We don't always have to agree, but we do respect each other, and we see everyone as a beloved child of God. Everyone geeks out on something, so come geek out with us and enjoy the show.
This show is a proud member of the Amazon Podcast Network.
Did anything disclosed in Disclosure Day matter? What new video game releases are coming our way? Is Doctor Who dead? We're going to be discussing this on a lot more in today's episode of Systematic Geekology. We are the Priest of the Geeks. I'm your host, Christian Ashley. On another What's News episode, to talk about the geeky stuff that we just got into recently, that's come out very recently. And I am joined today by two esteemed men. One of your hosts, who doesn't show up as often as I'd like him to, but he's here now. Herbie, how's it going, Herbie?
Life is good. Life is good.
That's good to hear. And we are joined by a first-time guest on the show, my good friend from back home, Karai Roe of the Foreign Saints podcast. Karai, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience real quick?
Hey, man, I just got my own show. All I do is, preach the word, encourage the saints, try and revive the hearts of those who are called to die daily. But I'm looking forward to, the conversation here, man, because as I said last time I was with you, Christian, the only culture I know is pop.
And that's what we do over here at Systematic Geekology. And we're going to start off today with a What's New episode, as we always do, with a bit of a lightning round. That's being Karai first time here, just talking about the smaller stuff that we watch, when I say a little bit about, but not make it the main topic. So I can go first if anyone needs time to think.
Oh, I'm going to need someone to model it for me. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, I'll do it. So a couple of days ago, I saw Toy Story 5 with my family. And I was hesitant getting into it because Toy Story 4 was kind of but 5 was stellar. It's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination, but you know what? That sucker made me cry twice. They did a great job this time around.
Oh, wow. Man, now I got to watch Toy Story 5. Man, I'd already written it off. That's tough.
So how about you guys? What do you want for your lightning round picks?
Thanks to a German friend, I've been watching a lot more of the Star Wars saga, a lot of their shows. Like we just went through the Clone Wars. Now we're doing the, I think it's Bad Batch.
Yep.
Mixed in with that, went and saw the Mandalorian and whatever the green guy's name is. I would know it if you told me, but I can't pronounce it for whatever reason. I really enjoyed the movie. It plot-wise was not bad, but it's Star Wars, high budget. So like you can take a not bad movie and make it into a great movie. Has enough of the nostalgia tie-in to everything. So all that come around, it was a good, enjoyable movie. And I don't ask for more than that.
Very good. Correct.
For me, like I was saying just before we got started, just started Spider Noir on Amazon. By the way, for all the money that Amazon makes, they are crap at advertising, because something that good really should have had more than half a commercial for it. But nah, man, cinematography is amazing in that, and that's not a compliment I ever give out lightly. Nicolas Cage, actually, at least 2 episodes in for me, Nicolas Cage so far is absolutely crushing it as a grizzled Ben Reilly. Really, everyone is taking this seriously, and it's a nice, gives me hope that there are still people out there that know how to write a story and care to make it look decent. So that would, yes, be my lightning round pick for this time around.
Okay. All right. We're going to move forward into the main topics, because I want to talk about someone who used to be able to write and direct pretty well. We're going to talk about Disclosure Day for my main topic. So real quick, to anyone who hasn't seen the film, I am going to be spoiling major parts of this because I kind of have to talk about gripes I have. So
spoil away because I'm probably not going to watch it.
There you go. If you want to skip ahead, go for it. So Disclosure Day, it has been hyped up a little bit. It's been like to the point where even people in the UFO kind of research area like this, is Spielberg involved with the higher ups? Is this the way it's actually going to be explained? We're going to reveal true aliens? It was never going to be that way, guys. So essentially, we start with characters who have names, I suppose. I couldn't remember a single one of them. And they're trying to bring to the common man the light, the news, and that aliens have been visited before. They happen at Roswell. They happen in the 70s and more, and other crashes and the like. And we've interrogated them. We've, dissected them. We have been pretty terrible people because, oh no, guys, did you know that humans are bad? Because that's certainly something that's never been said before by anyone. And our main characters are fighting against the government, but not really the government. It's a group working with the government called, I think, Vortex. It's actually a proper noun I remember from the film, where they're dispelling and discrediting anyone who is reported to see a UFO or reported to be abducted. But our main guy was a hacker who worked with them, who has stolen the information, working with this other organization that is trying to expose the truth that alien life is real and that they're so much better and everything, and that we humans need to look at that. And it's all in the midst of this. In the backdrop, you hear reports about Russia and China. I think it's Russia and North Korea. Maybe I can't remember exactly. Like fostering more developments on the DMZ, and there could be World War III breaking out at any moment because once again, humans are bad. When we get through the film, we learn plenty of things about humanity and aliens, and we have talks about God that are philosophic in every way possible, where eventually we're brought to the point where our bad guys have confronted our main heroes. One of the other main characters, she was abducted like the main character was as a kid, and she's become a newscaster in that sense, weather reporter. And they're about to spread the news in Kansas City. And it gets to the point where she has this alien artifact in her hand that could potentially stop them from doing it. But there's also like 50 guys with guns that could shoot her. And the big guy who's been in charge of Vortex this entire time, who wants to destroy any sense of telling people about aliens because humans can't be trusted. Like, there's nothing about this that matters. He gives up 5 seconds away from the finish line and just lets them give it out everywhere. Everything is disclosed, and the film kind of ends on the hope of, we've told you the news, and that's kind of the end. So, if you couldn't tell, I'm not a fan of this film. I think I walked out of it telling my dad, well, maybe a C-. I have given it more thought since then. This is an F. It's an F in every way, shape, or form. Like, I still love Spielberg. I still think he's done it. Great work. One bad film doesn't discredit the rest. I just think this is one of the safest things that ever happened. So before I go any further, like initial reactions to what I just said.
I've only seen the trailer that went on before the Mandalorian movie. That is so different than what I took away from the trailer, because the trailer that I saw didn't say what they were disclosing, just that something big was about to be told. That's going to change your life forever. And that seems a little underwhelming.
So as someone who loves ufology, research and stuff like that, Disclosure Day has been like a big word in there. So maybe I should be more, that not everyone knows what that means. Disclosure has been something in those threads being like, well, one day the government's going to tell us all. They're going to reveal the truth. Or, they'll show the videos that we received in Congress a couple of years ago of like this strange craft or something like that. But that's not disclosure yet. Like, we're going to tell you, actually, no, we have a relationship with them. So, yeah.
Okay. So like the term disclosure itself in that context, like necessitates alien. That's neat.
In that group.
Yeah. Amongst that particular, that subculture. Yeah. But I mean, I haven't seen it, but it doesn't surprise me. It just kind of fits a pattern I've seen of, why would we tell a story? We're Hollywood. Did you think we were in the business of storytelling? Nah, fam. That's not what we do. We tell a story for as long as we can until it's time to just kind of let whatever message of the day, I guess, just kind of come through. Though it sounds like this film, Disclosure Day, it sounds like it didn't know what message it really wanted to make primary.
I guess there is one in there about, hope for humanity, like just expose the truth and people will get together and bad things won't happen, which is Hollywood frou-frou nonsense. In the fact that, more truth is great. Don't get me wrong. We believe in a God of truth, but that doesn't automatically mean simply because truth is exposed that people respond to it well. It's infuriating. Go ahead.
From the Christian standpoint, I do believe that it doesn't matter if people have the truth. We are a depraved mankind, and we are not going to be better, even if something true is presented before us. The fact that people reject the gospel proves that people are not going to just be good because the truth is given to them.
It's also like at a equally deep level, I find it interesting that for whatever reason, people just assume that that the revelation of aliens is ontologically moral instead of just a mundane thing that may or may not happen in the grand scheme of the unit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Film definitely believes that.
Like aliens are the only form of life where people attach some kind of moral quandary to whether or not you believe they even exist. Like, I kind of get it, but I also wonder if people have even stopped to think about it. To think about why do you think this topic is in any way an accurate barometer of people's character? Aliens? That's our North Star. If you don't believe in aliens, you're a bad person. And if you do, you're progressive in your thinking. Are you?
There are.
I like how you just told us where to look for aliens, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go to Polaris.
There are literally alien talk in this movie between a former nun novitiate and the nun who trained her. And the former nun has been I don't really think of God as this person up there. He's more like a feeling or a force or something like that. They're but wouldn't, if aliens were real, wouldn't that stop people believing in God because aliens are so far above us, they might as well be deities? And the one smart person in the film, the nun kind of looks at her and says something and you think God made this whole universe and saved it only for us? Yeah, he could do that, but how does that suddenly disprove God as a deity simply because you have someone at a higher technological level than you? And yet somehow we're supposed to side with the other person in that argument more. I knew they threw that nun character in, the real nun, as we'll give him something. But the film itself suggests nothing of the kind. It's very annoying. And it's one of those things. I can't remember what the title of it was, but I think he was writing about the fair folk, as in fairies, that you could also apply to aliens as well if we found out they were real, because in the British Isles, a huge thing, fair folk. I think it was Lewis. Yeah. And he's well, if they found out they were real, okay, well, now we've learned there's someone else here besides us. So what? was kind of the point.
Yeah. Especially when they have all of our vices.
Yeah.
You're me with superpowers. Neat.
But who says they even have superpowers, though?
Well, I mean, just compared to our limitations, yeah.
And sorry, I remember in different parts of the film. It's really disappointing the more I remember.
Oh, yeah. Disappointments tend to do that. There's fridge disappointment beyond just fridge logic.
And there's things, it's that things shown in the film is they're so much more empathetic than us. Empathy is their language or something like that, because they're better than us humans. And that's all this nonsense there too. It's unless there's some unfallen race out there, then I'd give it to you. But you're not thinking that way. You're thinking that they're not human, therefore they're better, is one of the theses of the film as well. And the idea of this higher technology, more empathy, and they've forgiven you for mistreating and dissecting them because they're so much better than us. Go ahead, Karai.
I mean, it's just, it's an odd arrogance, you can reverse engineer a story depending on how seriously a person took themselves in writing it to kind of get a psych profile of the writer or writers. And so it really says a lot that if they're more technologically advanced than humans, they must be deity, because we're already so advanced and progressive that the only way you can be more progressive than me is to be God. That's really the only thing you can do. Right? Like, I don't have any character flaws. Our culture doesn't have any real issues beyond just being human. You know, like it's man, very arrogant.
Then I must also come through and say, like, let's say that aliens are real. Who's to say that other than having one specific type of technology that allows them to travel the galaxy or beyond makes them actually superior to us? Maybe they just happen to be able to develop this one part of technology, but they could be weaker. They could be less intelligent. They could be less of everything in any way. Are you going to just say that they have to be a higher being because they have one type of technology that we don't have?
Like, the progression of alien stories seems to be moving in that direction, Herbie, that you were talking about, where it's like they have more advanced tech, so therefore they're ontologically superior. When, like, you know, in yesteryear's alien movies, you know, it could run the gamut. You know, they could have been better. They could also have just been colonizers. They also could have just been straight up monsters like The Thing, which more and more is becoming my favorite alien story. The Thing is ridiculously awesome. I'm part of that cult that considers it a classic. It is legit, man. But yeah, like Battle LA or whatever that was called. Yeah, Battle Los Angeles.
Battle Los Angeles.
That was amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, that was amazing, because it was just like, yeah, nah, these aliens are just us, and we are the Middle East. Have fun. Good luck. You're about to get the teeth kicked out of your face, man. Or you could have.
It just made me think of Independence Day.
Yeah. Like,
I hope this video comes out around July 4th.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Oh, perfect.
Or it could be, what was it called? I don't think the movie was called Crop Circles, but it was some movie where like Signs. It was some movie where like the aliens were like weak to water, and like, you know, it turns out that like the only advantage they had on us was aura farming, because, you know, our planet is 3/4 the thing that kills them, and we are made of 3/4 the thing that kills them. So in that situation, we're kind of the terrifying alien species. But between the two in the film, you know, it's like it could have went in any direction back in the day. But, you know, more and more to me, it just seems like, oh, highest budget alien film. So let me guess, the aliens are some construct of new age thought, but packaged in a story that doesn't know what theme it wants to go with, so it doesn't know what it's trying to say.
Well, one thing you both kind of triggered an idea in me is the unfortunate implications of thinking that simply because one has higher technology than another, that automatically makes them superior throughout history. I mean, does that mean that the Turks that took down Constantinople were superior to the Western Roman Empire? Does that mean that the conquistadors were better than the Aztecs they were slaughtering right and left simply because they had better technology than them? It's like, I don't know about it. I don't think you thought this through.
Nah. But, you know, that would, you know.
I mean, were the British the best people on the planet because they conquered the majority of countries at one point?
They were until 1776.
Listen, man, we're Hollywood, savvy. We're not thinking of any culture outside of our silicon bubble. Nah, man. And all those cultures that you just named have less tech than us. So we're best.
Of course.
Yeah.
It actually seems more like Hollywood is less about telling a good story or building a good story and more about tearing apart a story, whether or not it's your history or this franchise that you've loved forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this is a very safe movie. And I mean, safe as in like you could predict where things are going. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is when it's this blatant as where things can go. It's very safe in the fact that, well, our bad guys are going to become good guys because the script says so. not because they've had an actual moment of awareness and be like, maybe I am on the wrong side. Like I said, that scene at the end is one of the most infuriating things I've ever witnessed, because throughout the entire film, we have established main bad guy. My life is devoted, even after my wife died. This is who I am. 30 years. I'm willing to die multiple times over to prevent you from speaking truth. But right here at the end, you point one alien weapon at me and I go, I'm just going to sit down, man. Let the good vibes flow. Like, what? That's not who you established this man to be. I'm like screaming in my head the entire time, trying to keep a calm face in the theater. What? And then his right-hand man, who hasn't had the same journey that the other guy went on, has a gun in his hand, could tell the other people around him who also have guns to use their guns, and he doesn't because the script says so.
I mean, yes, he is established to be a certain way, but he's established a certain way because of the circumstances of the script, not because that was the whim of the writer. You see, it's a subtle nuance there, but it's important, right? Because the writer doesn't know he established a character. He just knows he has a tool that's meant to stand in for all the ignorant people he hates. See? And so at the end of the movie, I can do in my script what I would want to do in reality, and by divine fiat, make this person, this archetype, what I want them to be. We don't develop characters here. What do you think this is, Hollywood? What?
Oh. And everyone clapped and made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because the person with the most guns wins.
There you go. I swear, man, Hollywood writers hate guns. It's like, man, these things that if you point and just pull a trigger, they just kind of instantly get rid of a problem. Man, I hate that. Can we just say they forgot how to use them? Yeah, why not?
Oh, there is a shootout scene with like, this guy must have gone to the Stormtrooper Academy on Carida, man. Like, missed completely. Yeah, sure, he's in a moving car. They're on a moving train, but like, you're the trained government agent. You have a gun. You know how to use it. They're not really making themselves like moving away. They couldn't be hit.
Like in Hollywood, you are more accurate if you leave the base with a bow and arrow than if you do with a machine gun of any make or model.
Okay, it's not just Hollywood. It's also stuff like anime too. Let's be honest.
I mean, fair, but
anime, it's because it's cool, not because I was
gonna say, bro, like rule of cool, like we know this some bull crap, but like anime will hit you with that animation that's like, we know that you know that we know it's bull crap, but this animation is fire. Let it ride, please.
That's gonna make you believe.
We got Christian here to preach.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been telling him, this man a preacher, man. I've been telling him, man.
So I'm kind of done with this. We need to move on to the other stuff. Unless there's something you guys really want to talk about more. I don't want to make it all about this one film.
Oh, no. You're good. You're good.
Okay. So we got some new video game releases soon. Herbie, I believe the first one was one of yours. Star Fox. What's going on in Star Fox world?
Well, they're going on the nostalgia train really hard to sell some Switch 2s. So they're re-releasing Star Fox 64 as a remake. They are basically, you've got an entire recoding of the game so that it plays on a modern console with modern graphics, new voice acting, new video graphics. But from what I can tell, it's still the same game, which looks really awesome.
So I thought it was a new game. So they're remaking the 64 version of Star Fox.
Yes.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah. Are you guys big into Star Fox?
I only played the 64 version, but it was an amazing game when I was a kid. Star Fox, like, it's a simple game in the concept. It's a on rails shooter. You're flying a little thing called an R-wing, which is like a TIE fighter basically, but a little more powerful. And you're going to save the entire solar system, the Light system, from this evil monkey guy. And it sounds really lame when I say that, but he's taken over the entire system. He's evil. He's destroying life everywhere by polluting and everything. And you come in with a team of 4 guys with 4 fighter jets, basically, and you save the entire galaxy.
I don't know, man. That's pretty epic.
Oh, the only thing that's lame is that Andros is this evil monkey guy.
That's all good. It's all
I
good.
never really played the games. I tried playing 64 while I was at my second cousin's house. I think that's the I think he's kin to me in some way down the road. I'm awful. I've always been awful when it comes to piloting ships, driving cars with a Batmobile. Like every time I'd be like, man, I'm going to go replay the Arkham games. And I go, I have to replay Night. I don't want to. So I'm complete and utter garbage at that. Star Fox, Super Smash Brothers is really like what I know him from the most. And I was garbage at playing him too there. So he's never really been my guy. So
I'm sure Star Fox is a nice guy, but man, because of Super Smash, I'm obligated to hate him. Man, like, I don't know, man. Like the people I played with just mastered Star Fox, man. Like the stuff they could do with that guy, I didn't know was digitally, physically possible. You know, I didn't know it was possible for a human being to lose in the ways that I lost to Star Fox. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Vendetta is there, but I recognize the legacy. I recognize the legacy to gaming, though. And so, in that sense, it is pretty dope that as the era of nostalgia continues, you know, they give him his flowers with a remake.
I will say that, you know, I'm not going to buy a Switch 2. I'm not going to play this game because, frankly, Nintendo hasn't earned my money that I don't have to give them. But I think in the case of this game, I think it is a really good tribute to a game that came out in the mid-90s. It looks great. They aren't really changing anything big. Sure, yeah, the higher quality on the voices kind of is, you know, it kind of loses a little bit of the charm. But let's be honest, communication is not what it was then. When you're talking on Discord or anything like that, you get really clear audio. So it's not like you're having to hear somebody from a telephone. I think from what I've seen, that they've done a really good job, and it does tempt me to buy a Switch 2. Just not going to do it.
You say you're just not going to fall for that temptation, but I see you. You brought
waiting on greener
pastures.
pastures.
Yes.
If I had money, they'd have a better chance.
Oh, there's that.
But by the time Gen 10 comes out for Wind and Waves Pokemon, I'm sure I'll be able to do it.
There you go. Always stay a gen or two behind, and you can afford whatever you want.
Just
right.
take the hand-me-downs from the newer generation that's got all the money. It's the wrong way. It's more like hand-me-up, isn't it?
Wow.
Also, that in mind.
I'm a retro gamer. Retro's in the name.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That is very true.
Hey, podcast fam. Want to stay even more connected with the show? We've got you covered. Check us out on Instagram and Blue Sky, where we're posting exclusive content and bonus videos and fun updates that you won't get anywhere else. From sneak previews of upcoming episodes to bonus content, our social accounts are the best way to keep the conversation going. Plus, it's a great spot for you to interact with other listeners and share your thoughts. We love hearing from you. When you follow us, it helps us grow and continue bringing you the content that you love. Whether it's a funny poll, a quick clip from today's episodes, or just random thoughts, you'll feel more plugged into everything we're doing. So go ahead and hit that follow button on Instagram and Blue Sky. It's one more way to be a part of the show and keep the good vibes flowing. Thanks for being a part of the family, and we can't wait to see you there.
So, Karai, I believe you were the next one on for Spyro. Is this one actually getting in the game?
It is actually. Okay. It's not. I mean, they got their remakes in the Reignited trilogy, but I just saw the other week that Toys for Bob, the dudes that did Crash 4, which is fantastic. They have announced a new Spyro game, Spyro: A Realm Beyond, made after, I guess you might say, like the bare bones skeleton, I guess, of the original trilogy, but they're trying to push it in some new directions. So, you know, I saw a trailer that was, I mean, it was gameplay, but like it's gameplay from like one of their alpha builds. So like it's not done yet, but I mean, Spyro had just at a base level full flight capabilities. Like you needed the power up gates to be able to do that in the first three, but they're just going to let him fly just at a base level. It seems like that seemed to be like the thing they wanted you to focus on in the advertising. And so, yeah, it would be pretty cool to see what you can do with, like, because technically that should be an oxymoron, right? A platformer where you can just permafly sounds like a contradiction. So, but I'd be interested to see what a studio could do with it. And like I said, you know, Toys for Bob, they did good on the remaster for Sly 3 for like Spyro, 1, 2, 3, the Reignited trilogy. They did great on Crash 4. So it's like, y'all know how to make a platformer, and a dang hard one at that. So it'd be great to see, I think, what their next gen, their classic next gen Spyro can be. And also, my two sons were extremely interested in the trailer. I saw it as I was cruising the PlayStation store, looked at the trailer. They were both doing whatever. And then they both just like ran up. They were like, Daggin, and just like plopped themselves on little bean bags and they're just glued to the screen looking at it. Trailer finishes. They're like, Dad, again. I was like, okay, well, now I'm obligated to buy it. Nice. It's a good thing I kind of want to, though.
Well, that helped. Spyro, for me, is another one. I never grew up on Spyro. I had a friend who played it. I tried it once. I hate platformers with every fiber of my being. I don't have the reaction time for it. I'm slow. I'm dull, dim-witted in those regards. I'm replaying Kingdom Hearts 1 right now, which I know is going to make Joshua really happy when he hears this as he's editing. And there are times I just want to punch through the TV screen because of the platforming Kingdom Hearts 1, which is the worst in the series. And I will fight you over that, Joshua. So, yeah. I will say, though, to Spyro fans, I just ran a Geeks on a Roll episode where he was chosen as one of the characters by the two people there. And there is going to be a scene there that you're really going to love. And that's all I'm going to say. And we call that hyping things up in the business.
Man, Spyro was one of my first ever games, just period.
I remember
Herbie Escape Shadow Realm.
Yes, I remember Spyro was really big on the PlayStation days. But then it kind of went silent for a long time. I remember Skylanders came up and it was somewhat associated with that. And then I just didn't remember seeing anything Spyro for a long time after. What happened?
I mean, like you have your original trilogy, right? 1, 2, 3, and that stuff is great. But by the time, your Spyros and your Crashes and stuff got to their third iterations, the gameplay loops had kind of reached the max of what those gameplay loops could do, even with some of in Spyro's case, in Spyro 3, the shakeups to the gameplay and your different characters with like the freaking the kangaroo and the Sergeant Penguin guy. And then in Crash 3's case, how like 50% of the game is classic Crash platform and the other 50% is like different gameplay stuff. So like by the time they reached their third iterations, it was like, okay, our gameplay loops are not bad. We've just squeezed all the juice out of these lemons. Spyro goes off and kind of does their own thing. They kind of take a different direction with the art style and the storytelling, which me and my little brother actually liked, but we were in the vast minority, apparently. They kind of took a more serious, almost Lord of the Rings tone with Spyro, gave him like elemental breaths, introducing different guys. I thought it was pretty cool to take a dragon and put him in an epic. I mean, that just feels like a natural progression. But for whatever reason, just didn't sell as well, and that's all it takes for you to enter, enter the Shadow Realm for the next decade.
Yeah,
but yeah, that would basically be, in my memory, what occurred with Spyro. But yeah, I remember those titles, man. Spyro, the Eternal Night. You're not forgotten. You're not forgotten. That lightning breath scene was epic.
All right, Herbie. Another one you brought up was the Ocarina of Time remake. Also coming out on Switch 2, I believe. So what do you have to say about that?
Okay, so this is where I'm going to sound a little hypocritical.
Oh.
I love what I see about Star Fox, but I don't like seeing an Ocarina of Time remake.
Okay, well, why though?
I honestly just feel like that this one, it's really just that they're trying to feel off of our nostalgia. Maybe it's because Star Fox 64 kind of ruined their franchise and kind of fell off after a while. And The Legend of Zelda just kept going. And well, now we're seeing them try to feed the nostalgia from games that are from the 90s. And I just don't like it. yeah, sure, it's going to be a great game. People are going to love it. It's going to sell millions of copies. But what's it doing for the franchise that never died?
There'll be 1 million minus the 70 they could have gotten from Herbie.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, I'm gonna say at the outset, Herbie, I agree with you on that. But for entertainment value's sake, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. All right.
Go ahead.
I mean,
we don't ever do that around here.
Never.
you could argue that even though that is a shallow, soulless cash grab and an abomination in every sense of the word, you could argue that what it would do for a franchise that never died is bring all of the people that are too young to have really enjoyed the glory days of the Ocarina era back to actually experience the glory of said Ocarina era without having to deal with, the just as difficult difficulties of actually acquiring, prior gen tech to play said games on. Or
Nintendo Switch Online, or
I said devil's advocate. You already know that means I'm not working with truth here. Okay, like I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know
okay,
what I mean?
to give you a little bit more, if they're going to give an updated controls, it can make it actually easier to play. Because one of the problems with the Zelda of that era is the N64 controller had one analog stick. Now we use 2 analog sticks because it's better for 3 dimensions. Because you have different things you're controlling with each analog stick. So there are some things you can do good. I just hope that it reminds people what Zelda used to be, and not what Breath of the Wild turned it into.
See that's tough, man. See, because Breath of the Wild was my game, bro. Like
it was a good game, but to me, it didn't feel like Zelda.
That's my Zelda, fam. Breath of the Wild was my Zelda, dog. Like that wasn't even on one of our topics, bro. But like, okay, so I've left devil's advocacy. You have me now, okay? Without any kind, and it might be the fact that it reminds me of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and some of the things I liked about that showed up in Breath of the Wild's main plot. That might have something to do with it. But unironically, man, Breath of the Wild was like one of my favorite games I've ever played, and I've played a lot. But
so
honestly, that was one of my favorite ones.
I loved Breath of the Wild. It was a fun game. However, I felt an underwhelmment from it because the puzzles were easy. I didn't get this sense of accomplishment when I figured out a puzzle, or I unknowingly cheese it and just get through it. There is like this joy you get when you really figure out this really hard puzzle, or you go back and you find that one key in the water temple that you couldn't find, and you've spent 3 weeks playing the water temple, and you get mad because it was just that easy. So
that's because you've been trained on who knows how many decades of Zelda. And this is a compliment, brother. I don't know if there's a puzzle Nintendo could craft that could keep down like a PhD Zelda. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like you done seen every temple, you done seen every permutation, you got every light arrow, you got every dark arrow, you got everything, bro. You got everything. Me, I was a Zelda virgin, bro. I came into Breath of the Wild like, okay, what is this, bro? What is this? That light opened up. That thing said, "Link, wake up." I was like, ooh, my loins girded. I was like, I'm on an adventure.
So, Christian, should I introduce him to my favorite Zelda game? Because I'm a black sheep. My favorite Zelda game was Zelda 2, and that game is known for its difficulty.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're just smarter than me when it comes to like puzzle games. That's what it is. Because Breath of the Wild's puzzles are actually like, well, they weren't all hard, but they were hard enough that I didn't feel like I was missing a challenge.
So I don't know if either of you are familiar enough with Zelda 2 to actually be able to hit the elephant that I brought into the room. That is, all the things that I complained about not being in Breath of the Wild were actually somewhat missing in Zelda 2. But Zelda 2 had other things that kind of give you that sense of accomplishment. But in Zelda 2, it wasn't about puzzles. It was a platforming fighter game.
I mean, it was also the second one, you know? So like anything it did was new at the time.
But you still got that same sense of accomplishment when you found out how to fight a boss, when you found out his attack pattern. And I just didn't get that in Breath of the Wild. I didn't play Tears of the Kingdom. And from what I understand, all the things that I kind of didn't like about Breath of the Wild got doubled down in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I played both, and that's an accurate summation. Yeah. If you didn't like Breath of the Wild, there's no logical reason you should like Tears of the Kingdom. Well.
I did enjoy Breath of the Wild. It's just the things that we're missing are kind of core to the Zelda game experience.
Well, see, I don't have a core Zelda game experience, so I was not, I would say, handicapped in that way. I just went into it like, all right, what can this franchise give me? I never touched it. I don't know nothing about it. It took Super Smash Brothers for me to learn that Zelda is not even the name of the hero, bro. Like, let's see what's in here, bro. Let's see what's in here, bro. And I won't lie, man. Like slowly unraveling. Oh, this world looks like something really bad happened here. You know, like even the music is broken. and I mean that in like the best way possible. Like they were haunting scores, but especially in the beginning, they would never play like full chords. It'd be like you walk past places, you get a couple notes evocative of a memory that is maybe tickling at the back of Link's mind, but not quite there yet, you know, and slowly peeling back the onion of like, yeah, so a really bad thing happened. Yeah, there are a lot of people that used to live here. Yeah, they all died. Not just died, they all got massacred by ancient AI. Oh, and I was supposed to save the day and I didn't? Dang, bro. So this whole world is kind of because I was not him. That's tough. That's really tough. And like, you know, I think the most, what would be the biggest accomplishment emotionally for me in that game? Probably discovering all the memories. Because I played it legit. I was like, no guides for me. I'm actually going to do this off the freaking pictures. And like, yeah, that was one of the hardest things I've done in a minute. Getting to like one of those last memories that was in like the Hyrule Castle, but while it was still covered in all of Ganon's bullcrap. Yeah, I felt really accomplished that I actually got there and got out in one trip. That was fantastic, you know. But, you know, for Herbie here, he's probably seen that permutation of guards like 90 times, bro. He's like, oh, this is Water Temple times 4, bro. This is Light Temple times 7, bro. Like, easy work. Do this blindfold.
I would really love to see you play Ocarina of Time. So maybe you would be a guy who needs to play the remaster lifelike Ocarina of Time so that you can see this zombie-like thing come and attack you out of nowhere, or have the mummy coming and trying to like just squeeze the life out of you.
Okay. I won't lie. There is one thing in Tears of the Kingdom you would actually like. That description just brought something from that second game to my mind. The gloom hands. Those things.
Did they take you back to the entrance of the castle or at the entrance of the dungeon?
No, but you'll kind of wish you had the way that like spawning worked down in the depths. You might wish they brought you somewhere safe, but no. They don't teleport you if that's what you're asking.
So in the original Zelda, the very first one, there were some dungeons that when you went to a room, there would be these hands that would come out of the wall and they would grab you and take you all the way back to the very beginning of the dungeon again. So all these things that you just wasted 2/3 of your health getting past, you've got to do it again.
Dude, you would love Tears of the Kingdom, but only, but with an asterisk. You wouldn't like all of it, but you would like the underground that Nintendo somehow they were able to be competent and, at least to my knowledge, did not advertise the depths at all. So when I encountered that, it also helps because I'm a punk, you know, I'm terrified of the dark. So like an entire underworld that's lights out was like, are you serious? This isn't, I don't have to be down here to like beat the game, do I? Nah, fam, you got to figure that out. But there's no light. And the game is like, yeah, there's not, is there?
You got to go buy a candle.
You should probably figure that out, shouldn't you? You should probably figure that out, man. Yeah. It also took me a while to realize that the topography was a mirror image of the surface world. But until you figure that out, yeah, you are disoriented as heck down there. But that was also pretty. That also felt really accomplished to go down into an underworld where there is no light, no nothing, and the game does not hold your hand in any way, shape, or form, and says, "Yeah, you're the hero of Hyrule. You're the hero of Legend. You can figure it out." I like that. I actually like that.
So another note on the Zelda 1, the first one, there were rooms that you'd go into and they were dark and you don't know how to light them up. And you've got to figure your way through it. There were some things you could kind of see in the dark, but it really increased the difficulty until you find out that, hey, you can get the candle. And when you start a fire with the candle, it lights up the whole room and you can see again. You don't need it. If you're good, you don't need it. But I'm not that good, so I needed it.
Yeah, you couldn't light up the whole underworld. You could light up like bits and pieces of it here and there. But you see, Christian, you see what I did? See what I did? If someone was keeping score, they could probably be like, dang, bro, this man really just said that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom had nothing to do with classic Zelda. And then you just named like at least 3 or 4 things that it kind of mirrored from classic Zelda, bro.
No, I said the core Zelda experience. So
amen. Now we see Christian. See Chris.
All right.
Got him with that.
That's why, bro. My foot down. I don't have a dog in this fight, but I know we have other topics to discuss. Zelda has never been my thing because it involves platforming and riddles and puzzles, and hate them. Not my thing. So
I thought you would enjoy riddles, but what's our next thing?
Nope. Oh, everyone thinks that. Christian, you're so smart. You should love puzzles. You should love riddles. No, get them away from. You speak to my face. You tell me what you want to say. Don't you be speaking to these philosophical things. You tell me what you want. And what I want to talk about is Kingdom Hearts 4.
Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh my gosh, bro. You hypocritical dog. What are we talking about, bro?
So is this another game from a franchise that kind of like went like off the radar for forever for me?
No, maybe. I don't know if you ever played it or not. I got into it really late.
Rails, and I was going to be like, was Kingdom Hearts ever on any rails?
It was never on the rails. Don't pay attention to what they're selling you. Just enjoy the Disney worlds and kill things. That's why I like
the Kingdom Hearts.
Yes. So we've gotten to some new things here with Kingdom Hearts 3. We had the whole thing with Sora being lost after using the power of waking, and now we're showing Quadratum again after the first trailer that came out 3 to 4 years ago. This released about 2 to 3 weeks ago, the newest trailer. So nothing really new is shown outside of some characters. Like we see Luxord there. We see a younger Xehanort at some point in time. Maybe it's Ansem. Who knows at this point in time? It's a bunch of nonsense. And the nonsense isn't why I like the game. It's funny because there's a ton of nonsense, but ain't nobody trying to make sense of it that can do it well. Just shut up. I'm in a Disney World. I'm with Donald Duck and we're killing these Heartless right here. That's what I need in my life. So I'm looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 4. Yes. Is it a contradiction? Absolutely. But we contain multitudes.
I'm just never... Kingdom Hearts really is the only franchise I've ever seen where I took a glance at the lore and just said, no. It's the only, and I like complicated lore, like I really do, bro. But I'm like, bro, are we fighting the shadow of Ansem or Ansem's shadow? Like, what are we doing, bro?
Look, I love convoluted lore too. That makes sense. I write convoluted things. But if you're paying attention, you'll be fine. Kingdom Hearts, if you're paying attention, you might get 25% of the way there because they're making it up every single game.
It's worse if you pay attention, dog. Like
your eyes will go cross-eyed. Yeah, it is what it is. But you know what? It makes me happy, and that's why I put it there.
It's got the most accurate to life depiction of Mickey I've ever seen, though. You know, and I'm like every time I go to a Disney property, I'm like, the Mickey that runs IRL Disney World is Kingdom Hearts Mickey, bro. They just haven't confirmed it. But that's the one, bro. You know, pimp cape and magic wand and all that, bro. That Mickey, that's the one, bro.
All right. We have one final thing to discuss today. I know it's going on a little long, but just kind of happened that way. And that last thing is we got some news on the Doctor Who side of things.
Yes.
Where the series has been put on hold.
I have been waiting all episode for this topic.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I spoke when the last season ended on this show about how I felt like it was a 6 out of 10 at best. I have once again reevaluated something I previously watched, and I said, you know what? I was too kind.
Yes, you were. At
best, that second season of the new run was a 3 out of 10, but I'm going to give it a 2 because you can tell now with hindsight all the cracks that were there, all the people who should have been there, but because of actor differences and creative differences, things didn't happen the way they were supposed to. You want to talk about some nonsensical nonsense that's thrown for convoluted reasons just to like poke the bear and be like, hey guys, you still interested? That it succeeded massively at that. So for me, this is good news because you know what? Russell T Davies, without him, we wouldn't have Modern Who as we have it. Like, I don't want to say like he's a hack. He's never been good because that'd be incorrect, but he also ran the series into the ground. So that's where I'm thinking. We need a break. We need someone new, fresh blood. Take the time you need, BBC. Go ahead, Karai.
Oh man. I mean, the thing is he's just right about Doctor Who, except, you know, I'm always a bit more harsh towards storytellers that prove that they were good. Like if you were always bad, then, you know, you were practicing at the height of your capabilities. Russell, what is this? Like, what am I looking at, bruh? What am I watching? You know, except it's worse for me because I've looked at some of the, like, you know, the extra stuff, you know, the interviews with the creatives and stuff like that. So Christian's not going to say that Russell T Davies is a hack who's never been good. I will say you were good. And then you decided to be a hack that's not good. His own words, bruh. His own words. The story does not matter as much as the agenda that he wants to push. That's not a hidden thing with Russell. He's just come out and said it on multiple occasions, right? Like Stephen Moffat, you know what I'm saying? Son of the devil needs to find Jesus. The man knows how to write a story, okay? Like we should all be able to agree on that much, all right? Sit down conversation between the two of them. Stephen Moffat says, there are some things about Who that can't change. The Doctor has to use a sonic screwdriver, and the TARDIS console has to be in the center of whatever room you make the TARDIS to be. Because there's a value to traditions, there's a value to moorings. And there's only so much you can tamper with the moorings of anything before it is just not that thing anymore. Ship of Theseus to any of my philosophy heads out there, bro. There's only so much you can mess with it before it's just a new thing. Russell, in response to that, says, yeah, whenever I see moorings, I just have this thing in me that just needs to change them. Get him out of the writer's room. That's pathological, man. He can't even say why he wants to change this stuff. He just wants to change it because no one else has changed it. Like, that's not writing. That's, I mean, dare I say rage baiting, but rage baiting has some ounce of intellect to it, and I'm not sure that this does. So, you know, I don't even have a word for that. That being said, right, Modern Who, this is a hot take. Modern Who should not have gone past Matt Smith's era. But I combine that with the tension point in my head that Peter Capaldi is the best Doctor to ever play the role. Both of those things, I think, just are true. With the way they were writing the story from, you know, beginning of the reboot to Day of the Doctor, you know, they did that thing where you put your thesis statement at the end. And the thesis statement for that whole series, that whole section of Doctor Who for me was when Matt Smith in his final monologue in Day of the Doctor says, Clara oftentimes asks me, where are you going? You know? And, you know, they talk a bit about Clara saying, you're not really going anywhere. You're just wandering about. And the Doctor is like, yeah, I used to think that too. But recently I found out I'm going where everyone's going, home. I'm just taking the long way around. And it's like, okay, sweet. So you set it up that he's the last survivor of the Time War, last of the Time Lords, all that stuff that moves into finding Gallifrey. The final arc for his final life should be finding Gallifrey, and then maybe, for whatever reason, settling down. you know, or maybe not, but at least finding Gallifrey, right? That should be where it ends, where it bookends. They didn't want to do that, so they pushed it. The reason that pushing it, though it was bad, worked is because Peter Capaldi was so freaking good that it didn't matter. I was sitting there like you were filming the show on borrowed time, but this man is amazing. He is finally my doctor. You know, all the teenage girls had their doctors for the first few years. Old man who's crumpety and grouchy and hates everyone, but still does what's right. That's my doctor, man. That's anyone that knows me knows. Yeah, that's Karai. That's Karai.
Yeah,
he'll insult you, but he'll die for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Heaven Sent, best episode in history, but still borrowed time, right? Jodie Whittaker comes along. Here's my other hot take. Jodie Whittaker was perfectly fine in the role as the Doctor. No one could have done better with the piss poor material that was given to her.
I agree.
You know, and she got scapegoated because she happened to be the Doctor during this time when Red Pill was fighting Blue Pill. And that's really, in my opinion, why she got scapegoated. I'm like, anyone that's listening, check the episode, you know, the Villa of Dia Vittori or whatever. There's a scene where she's talking trash to a Cyberman. I swear you can hear David Tennant's Doctor in her performance. Incredible. The only scene that was written like the Doctor was in the room, and she aced it, you know? So she could do it, but, you know, the story was crap. So that's where we are. And then we had, I don't know, like gay fan fiction of Doctor Who for like a season or two. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that was. like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing, bro? Like, and y'all might say, oh, conservative Christian, rah, 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 rah. You'd be right. But you also can't deny that we dang near had at least 2 gay sex scenes in the TARDIS, bro. You can't deny that. I mean, one we almost definitely had, shoot, you know, just tough. It's like you'd have decent moments that rise out of the sea of crap. And the question is, are the moments of awesomeness like the toy maker talking trash to Dr. 14? Amazing. Is it worth the crap that it came in? The people that signed the checks for a living finally said no. That's basically where we're at.
Thank you for that monologue. Desperately needed.
Hey man,
you can just tell something's been blowing up inside. Yeah, like you've been wanting to say this for so long. Like I am sick and tired of the idea of we're just gonna put agenda over story. We're gonna put my thought over story, over characters, over all this. Look, you can have an agenda. I love the original 60s Star Trek. You know what? There were agendas all over the place. Sometimes handled really well. Sometimes really poorly. Like you can't. I'm not saying you can't have agendas in your show. You can't have something be like, I want people to think about this. Good fiction will make you think about those things. That's the problem. That's good fiction. When you're heavy-handed, when you don't care about your audience, when you care more about what you think versus the story you want to tell and the characters you want to present, you're going to fail. And that's exactly how we got to this point in time where, look, I love Judy. I thought he was great. He looked like he was having a time of his life at the start. But then when things kept going bad, when he's, I don't know if I can wait 2-3 years in between seasons. I have to feed myself, be an actor, do my job. Well, no wonder he left after everything that was going wrong there. And we got some supposed leaks of what would have been the Christmas special for this year, which has also been canceled, where with the whole thing with the end, it was like Billie Piper shows up. Is she actually Rose Tyler? It would have been like, kinda. It's a temporary face would have been the thing because the location the Doctor ended up at had seen her at one point in time, and the person knew her there. So temporarily the Doctor looked like Rose Tyler for that. And then at the end of the Christmas special, we might have gotten the reveal of the next actor. It would have been complete and utter, we're never going to tell you until an actor's announced.
The problem is, right, you can write stories one of 2 ways. Your story can either be theme driven or it can be character driven. Problem is they didn't know what they wanted to do, right? But either way, whichever way you go with that, the universe has to be internally consistent, right? So people have always been kind of shocked by me being the conservative Christian, watching Doctor Who and being like, ooh, how can you watch? How can you stand your male doctor transforming into a woman? And I'm like, he's an alien. And they're like, what? And I'm like, he is an alien. Am I the only one that remembered the lore? He's an alien. Why are you putting these human things onto an alien? Like, what? This doesn't make any sense whatsoever that Time Lords would care. Like, if this is the way y'all want to build the universe, fine. But they like to have their cake and eat it too, and it kills internal consistency within the universe. If gender doesn't matter to the Time Lords because any regeneration can shuffle that, then play it out and actually have them not care about gender, not make snide remarks that fall in line with, mid 2020 identity politics. That doesn't make any sense to me. Or you have gender, it does care to them, but because Time Lords are, some of the most scientific races in the universe, this is what the show has shown us. They're all nerds, all of them. Gender should care to them because it's real and it matters. Like, you can't have it in either situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get to the theme that you want to get to without rewriting the whole universe, even though, they desperately try. Doctor Who is just such an interesting case study. And like, you can try to pull the values out of your hero, but if you write your hero well, the values just kind of show up, because you can't write a hero without values, man. Like, I was telling Christian this, I think it's funny. One of the best pieces of anti-abortion media I've ever seen was made by the BBC in Russell T Davies's era of Doctor Who, The Doctor's Daughter. It's not possible to watch that and not come away thinking, man, was that a pro-life agenda? And because it's the BBC, it's not, right? And it's like, okay, you guys are such hacks at writing stories, even back then, that you accidentally wrote one of the best episodes that advocates against one of your entire corporation's core positions. This is how I know y'all can't write. Because if y'all understood what you wrote, you would have never greenlit that. But I'm glad you did, because it was amazing.
Well, we do have to end at some point in time here. We have places to be. Thank you both for being here. Had a really great time. One of the things we do like to do at the end here is ask which of the topics we discussed today would be your top recommendation. I'm going to say Spider Noir. Like, wasn't my topic, but you know what? It was great.
I'm going to say Ocarina of Time, because I'm actually, if I can find the funds for it, I'm actually going to play it. I'm actually going to play that remaster.
I'm going to have to agree with you. If you're going to get one of these things that we talked about, you need to play Ocarina of Time so that they can get away from the open world concepts that they doubled down on. I'm okay with the open world, but there kind of has to be some closed nature. Zelda's always kind of been semi-open. Go back to what made it its core experience.
I'm not going to come away hating Breath of the Wild if that's what you desire, but if you want me to give you like a whole video essay's worth of praise on Ocarina, you already know that's going to happen.
All I'm going to want is for you to say that, hey, Zelda did lose something.
Hey, if I see something that they lost, I'll be the first one to report on it, my brother. Matter of fact, I'll be sure to come right back here to Systematic, bro, and I'll let you have your victory lap on that.
All right. Thank you guys for all of you do. We really appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, like this, subscribe to the show, leave a comment down below about, what are the hot takes we had, how wrong we are, how you would have done things differently, what you care about. Love to have engagement with you guys. I'd like to thank some people who helped sponsor the show. Thank you very much to Ethan Overcash, Austin Nance, Amber Riley, Jonathan Augustine, Gunnar Bergam, and Frank Troglauer. You guys are the best. But remember, we're all the chosen people, a geekdom of priests.
Hey friends, it's your pal Will Rose here, and let me break the fourth wall a moment and look directly at you through the camera, or speak directly to you in your earbuds. Yep, I'm talking to you, Susie. You too, Chad. You can now support Systematic Geekology on Fourth Wall. That's a website. You'll find all of our episodes incredible merch like shirts and hoodies and mugs. Chad, I would love to see you in one of those shirts out in the wild. You get bonus episodes. We answer bonus questions. We have special shout outs. We have certain episodes that you pick. So you help us create and curate the content that we put out for the world to hear. You even get free merch. And you can support the show at different levels. You could join at the free level. Yep, we love free members, free support. Join it. Or you could become a sidekick for as little as $5 a month. You could join the elves and dwarves for $10 a month. You could become a wizard for $15 a month, or you could go to divinity school and become a cleric for $20 a month. And that's way cheaper than going to seminary, believe me. Or at $25 a month, you could become a superhero. And let me just say, we love all of our listeners, whether you support us at the free level or the superhero level. We love you. We love geeking out with you. Like, support, share the show. Love you.
This is Joshua Knoll. I am one of the hosts of this podcast. I am also host a few other shows on the Anazal Podcast Network that this show is a part of. If you want to hear more from me, you can check out the Whole Church Podcast, where TJ and I go through talking to people from various different church traditions to see what can be done to better harness church unity in the world today. You can also hear me on Be Living Water, where I talk about Taoist Christian beliefs and examine various media like the Book of Daniel and Les Miserables through a Taoist Christian perspective. You can also hear me as I do some of the voice work for the Bible After Hours, where the foul-mouthed preacher goes through the Bible from a more progressive point of view. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you'll consider checking out these other shows on the Anazal Podcast Network.